Alright, welcome back. JW, IDC Devices. I'm going to do a quick recap for anybody who hasn't watched part 1. This is part 2 of the video. If you didn't watch part 1, I'll do a recap. Shouldn't have to baby you, but I will. Playing. So we have a 2203 DFX. This is a dual tuner. The D stands for dual tuner. The FX stands for our echo and our reverb. So on this particular model, we have a TL and a TR. We have a linear scan. We have a random scan. We have our main power. We have our amplifier, which now has its own switch and LED. Our main power has its own LED. So now we know when things are turned on and off. This one has the IDC indicator across the front. We'll have the ion generator on top. It has the internal microphone with its own power switch, preamplifier, and volume. This one also has the newest feature of the UV light. Since there's no laser grid, it's just a UV work light or a UV light for aiding our cameras. If you have the laser grid and choose that option, then it could actually be a proximity sensor, and it will go off and light up the UV if anything enters the field, the UV field. Now this particular model, I didn't say it in the last video, this particular model, because my new features are getting power hungry, this is now 12 volts. For now, this is the power system I'm using. I am developing another power system. I'm actually developing a separate power system because, let's just face it, my crap is getting heavy. It's getting a lot of power that it needs. So what I'm going to have is, because when we go to these haunted locations, we go to these abandoned hospitals, we don't have electricity. So my thought was, well, I can't give you electricity, but what I can give you is a power supply that will run the entire box. So I am working on a power supply as well as all of my light features. I'm working on a lot. I'm working on a lot right now. But let's get back to where we were at here. What we have is some instructions on how to use this device. Now it's a dual tuner, so, and like I said in the last video, I'm going to be uploading instructions to the website for each and every device. Now this particular device, with it being a dual tuner, there will be specific ways, a little bit different than the single tuner, on how to record different sessions. So let's start with, and you're going to have to forgive the, I'm getting old. In case you hadn't noticed, I'm older than freaking dirt. Okay, so we have a dual tuner here. This one has the internal microphone, so we're going to talk about this tuner, this box for Mr. Bandoff. Let's say we're going to record a session, and oh crap, sorry guys, I thought that I was ready to go, and I had forgot I dropped this stuff in the drawer. Okay, so here we go. Let's say you want to record just linear. You're not worried about random. You're just wanting to record linear. You want to do like an EVP type session where you're looking for EVPs, so you want the microphone on, and you want to use just the linear tuner. So what we would do is we would be plugged into our record on our microphone. We are going to be plugged into the opposite tuner. The opposite tuner. So if we're going to be running the linear, we want to plug into the pre-effects in out on the random. Very important. You need to plug in here. Yes, let me give you the specs on the box. It's a 20 watt amplifier. It's a 20 watt amplifier. It's a 50 watt nominal, 100 watt max speaker, three-way system, speaker system. It's got This particular one has a 5-channel audio mixer. I build all my audio mixers are passive. I build them by hand. They're already enclosed in the box. So we're going to record linear, like an EVP type ghost box combined session using the internal microphone. So first thing we want to do is make sure that our amplifier is turned on. We want to turn on our main power and our amplifier. Everything else is turned off. Then we want to go ahead, turn on our microphone. Now, you can already hear the microphone. So we may want to turn the volume down a little bit until we don't get that womp, 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 because we do have the echo and reverb going right now. Now, if we turn that echo and reverb all the way out, you notice it goes away. Well, let's say we're wanting a little echo and reverb in our thing. So as you can tell, you can hear me right now. You can hear me speaking. We want to turn that up and just keep turning it up until we just before the womp, 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 womp. We can actually turn the amplifier off, turn it back on. Okay. Now, normally, at this point, we'd be ready for our session. We have our recorder. We're plugged into the opposite tuner from what we're going to be using. So we want to turn our amplifier on, our microphones on, and go ahead and start our scanning. We want to start our session. We're going to speak. We're going to ask our questions. We're going to, go through our entire session. And you've seen some, if you've seen any of my other videos, there's several different ways you can do this. And I'm going to try to list them all on the website. We would finish our session, start turning things back off. Microphone, very, very much so we want to turn our microphone off. Here we would simply swap over. Well, I guess I should have recorded something, just so I could give the example. So let's do that again. Amplifier is on. And I think that the order does matter because especially depending on your microphone may pick up and set itself to the first audio that's coming into it. So if it picks up the tuner before it picks up your voice, I think that's what I discovered. You want to have it like this. You want to go ahead and start recording so it's picking up your voice. Then turn your tuner on. Now it's set. It should be picking up both, and you're still hearing my voice coming through here. So I would ask my questions. Any EVPs could happen. Any direct contact through the tuner could happen, or a disembodied voice. If it happened, it could come through the microphone as well. Then we end it. That was 30 seconds. We end it. We turn this off. We turn that off. We swap to here.
You want to go ahead and start recording so it's picking up your voice. Then turn your tuner on.
So I think I had my order out, and on my recorder, it's picking up the tuner more than it's picking up my voice. So you may have to experiment a little bit with your recorder, how your recorder is going to work. All right. Main thing is turn the amplifier back off. Main thing is make sure if you're going to record on linear, you plug into random. You're going to record on random, plug into the pre-effects on the linear. Always plug into the opposite. Now, if you're wanting to record both of them, you would plug into the post effects out. Now, the post effects out, you could also use the post effects out if you're going to add echo to your session. You would use post effects out, period. I guess I should have started with that. If you want no effects at all, choose the opposite tuner of what you're going to be scanning on, that's where you plug it in. If you want effects, plug it to post effects out. If you're going to run both scanners, plug it to the post effects out. Set your, and I'm not going to run through all that again with the recording and all that. Set your echo, reverb, turn everything on, and you're ready to go. Like I say, I will post the instructions. Now you want to do the Estes method. Okay? Now you want to do the Estes method. First of all, you don't need your internal microphone. You don't want that. You don't want anyone listening. Your listener should not hear you. And if you use the microphone there, they're going to hear you. You're going to use a setup like this with a splitter. And once again, you would still go back to the same thing with the opposite on the Estes. Or if you're going to use both, go to the post effects, record. You have your external microphone. Now, the great thing about the dual tuner, and it gave me an idea, from here on out, all of my, even my single tuners, are going to come with two pre-effects, line in, line outs, with their own place on the, it's going to add one more spot to the preamplifier and the audio mixer. I'm going to have with the dual tuner, it's really easy. You simply plug one listener in on that tuner, and you could plug the other listener in on this tuner. And in this particular case, since they're all going through the audio mixer, even though, that's why you have to use the opposite on the other one, even though you're plugged in here, you're going to hear the other tuner. You're going to hear it because they're coming from the audio mixer. So now you could actually have two listeners, and you could go back and compare their audio and compare, not their audio, their answers. Okay, so you could have each listener identify themselves as listener 1, listener 2, and they can give their answer of what they heard. They should not hear each other if you're using the right, and these are not the right ones, by the way. If you're using the right ones, they won't hear each other. They won't hear the actual speaker, and you can compare their answers as to what they heard. So that's the great thing about the dual tuner. But it gave me the idea that even on my single tuner, I'm going to add another pre-effects out so that on the Estes method, you can now use two listeners. Okay. Now playback simple. I'll have the instructions. You could play back here or you could play back there. It depends on whether you recorded echo and reverb or not. If you recorded echo and reverb, you probably don't want to play back here unless you've already turned the echo and reverb back down. But you could play back through either one. So that is the instructions on this one. I'm going to write them all up, draw pictures. They'll be on the website. Each one will have different model numbers on the instructions showing you, excuse me, what particular models those instructions are exactly for. And each one of these, now this one here's probably got another 3 or 4 different ways. I already come up with, I don't know, 10, 12 ways of recording with one of these. And with this dual tuner, it's got to add another 4 or 5 different ways or more that you're going to be able to record sessions, record EVP sessions, play them back. Just so many options. You're really going to have to sit down and just really work with the equipment you got. It really depends on what recorders you're using. I like tape myself. I just use these because they're really quick for playback. These two little black ones here, they're really quick for what I do. But I do like I like tape. I've always liked tape. But that's this video. I'm going to let you go. I appreciate you watching it. And let me know what you think about the device and this particular dual tuner. All right. Thank you.